using a bow and arrow to light one of the most epic fires I've ever seen in my life. My brother is dousing it in petrol, and my mate Jace is getting ready to hit it with a bow and arrow. We're just going to see if it works. But before we get to that, let me explain the whole weekend. We've got fishing, we've got four-wheelers, we've got the best camp cookouts you can possibly get, we've got crazy views. But me and my brother's family, we actually camp out the first night before we actually head to our mate's farm. It's a beautiful spot right next to the water, so I can try some trout fishing for the last time this season because it's the June long weekend. But I'm just going to give you a little rundown about our camping experience because I'll do another video on that another day as well. But I actually sleep in a hammock right next to a trout stream, so I can literally hear the trout feeding on top of the water. So it's the best spot I can possibly think of. My niece and I are on firewood duties, and she decides she wants to collect rocks instead.
Fire.
To go around the fire?
Yeah.
Okay, that's a good idea.
To go around sticks.
But do we need more firewood or no?
We do.
Yeah, let's get some more firewood.
My brother is back at camp preparing dinner, and we're actually going to do a slow cooked lamb roast, but we've got to brown the meat first, and that's him salting it right there. We actually remembered the salt this time, which is always good. And this is us browning it on just this grill that we use, this really lightweight grill. It's so cool to use. And then we basically just slow cook it in this concoction that we came up of goodness. And if you want the recipe, leave a comment below, and I'll make a video on the actual recipe of this dish. All right, so I'm in the hammock right now. I'll see you in the morning, see if I got any sleep. Honestly, one of the best night's sleeps I've ever had, and we cooked breakfast, and of course, I head straight out to the water because I love fishing, I love catching trout, and this stream in front of us is full of them. But first, we've got a joke from my niece that she wanted to say.
What does the kangaroo say when he goes to the shop?
What?
He says, goo goo gaga.
It's a good one.
For anyone that knows me and has been following along, I love trout fishing, and I just like being out there. I don't even have to catch the fish, but luckily I do catch a fish. A beautiful rainbow trout, not that big, but that doesn't worry me too much as I'm going to release it anyway. And have a look how clear this water is. Seriously, when I was filming, when I watched back this footage, I couldn't believe how clear it is. Just, you can see for ages. We finally arrive at my mate's farm, and the first thing we do is get out all the toys. And he's got it all. He's got four-wheelers, motorbikes, lawn mowers. That's him right there. And he straight away is on the tractor because we're trying to make a big bonfire tonight. Jules is on the mower, and he's loving life. He's not even mowing, he's just riding around in it. And I'm on the four-wheeler, which I think is the best. I've got the GoPro on, and then I've also got the drone in the air as well. The views on this property are absolutely amazing. And he's thinking about doing it as an Airbnb. So if you guys are keen, it's near trout fishing spots, let me know, and I'll let you know when it comes up. But just take a look at this view coming up right here. This is right on the edge of the property, and just below it dips right down, and there's a sick trout stream at the bottom of that hill. I go back to see what the boys are doing, and they're prepping for this big fire. We actually do a little test run of the fire during the day, just a little small one. And Jules is there just making sure everything's safe while Jace is driving around like a madman. It's finally nighttime, so Jason's got the bow and arrow out. We don't know how this is going to work. We've got a little bit of a cotton bud at the end. We're going to douse it in a bit of petrol, and Jules is going to light it up.
You haven't had one practice shot yet.
No, right. I don't need it.
Finally, the moment you've all been waiting for. The arrow is lit. Jace is set. He's got one shot, one take to try and do this.
Oh. Fuck it out. Ah!
Come on, Jace.
Fucking, I'll tell you what, that was a good shot too.
That was a good shot.
A little anticlimactic, but don't worry, we had a backup plan in case that failed, which we thought would fail. We had a trail going to the fire, and it turns out to be phenomenal.
Woohoo!
God damn.
So in the end, it was fairly successful, and don't worry, this was the first night, so I've got a lot more content to bring you, and I'll have part 2 to this.